Good morning, fourth graders. Today is week 3, day 4, Thursday of your DMR. We're going to solve some problems. Okay, number 1, make sure you have a pencil. If you need scratch paper or a dry erase mat board, get it ready. Okay, number 1, solve the problem below. 7/10 plus 12 1/100ths. Okay, remember, fractions are new to you, I understand. 7/10 and 12 1/100ths. When you are adding or subtracting fractions, you cannot do that until your denominators, the bottom number, are the same. Then you only subtract or add your numerators. Okay, let's do a plus because it said to solve the problem and it said plus. Okay, the one easy way to make this denominator match this one so that you can do the work with the numerators is to just add a 0 to make it 100. This is one way. There's many ways. And then what you do to the bottom, you must do to the top of the numerator. So we added 1 0. We're going to add 1 0 here. Okay? Now you can add straight across. 70 and 12 is 82. And you do not add the denominators. You leave them the same. You only add the top numbers, which is called the numerators. Number 2, what is another way to express 87 hundredths? Okay, you have a fraction, 87 hundredths. If you still have your resource that Mrs. Enriquez gave you with decimal place value, this is ones, these are wholes on this side of the decimal, on the left of the decimal. These are hundreds, okay? Hundreds, tens, ones. That you know how to do, okay? Now, to the right of the decimal, these are partial numbers. They are not full numbers. They are not whole numbers. They are partial. So on to the right of the decimal, you have tenths, THS, so it's like 10 with THS, hundreds, and thousands, and so forth. But we won't continue past thousands right now. THS, thousands, hundredths, tenths. So when you have a fraction like this, 87, you're going to place the 7 in this place value, the hundredth place value. So go over here, hundredths place value. This is where your 7 goes. This is where your 8 goes. Okay? 8 goes in the tenths, 7 goes in the hundredths, because they told you it was 87 hundredths. So always look at the denominator, go to that place value, and that's where you know you're going to put your digit that is all the way to the right of whatever number you have here in that place. Let's try a couple more that aren't actual problem for you. Let's do 56 thousandth. Okay, we're going to put 6 from the numerator in this place value. If you look over here, where is the thousandth place value? It's right here. So you're going to put your 6 here, your 5 here, and then you're going to put a 0 here, and here's your decimal. If I was doing 6 tenths, I know my 6 is going to go in the 10th place. So we're going to do decimal. My 6 is going to go in my 10th place. That is the same as 6 tenths. So another way to write 8700 is decimal 87. Okay? Number 3, list the first 12 multiples of 12. First multiple is 12. Second multiple is 24. You need to list the first 12. So you need to list 12 multiples of 12. Number 4, circle the larger value. If you have 0.9. What is that in fraction form? Well, it's going to be 9. And look at your decimal and your digit. Tenths. This is 9 tenths. 9 tenths. This is the same as 9 tenths. This is decimal form. This is fraction form. Okay? So that's that fraction. Then you have decimal 89. And where would that be? What would the what'd they do? They gave you the decimal. So if I were to put 89 here on my chart, I would have my 8 here and my 9 here. So what would that be? 89 hundredths. Okay? I'm going to write it right here for you so you can see that. You have decimal, you have 89 hundredths. This denominator tells you where to place your number. You don't start it here, you would put your 9 here. 89 hundredths. That's decimal. This is fraction form. Okay? So, 89. So, if you were to have a pie with 100 pieces and you only ate 89, how many would you have left over? 91 is what you'd have left over. If you had a pie with 10 pieces and you ate 9, you'd only have 1 piece left over. Okay? Which one of these is of greater value? In fractions, just because you have a big number doesn't mean that's the one that is more value. Okay? Actually, 9 tenths, you only have 1 piece left. This is almost a whole because any number over itself equals 1 whole. Okay? So this is almost 1 whole. So is this larger or is this larger in value? Okay? Okay, number 5. Find the quotient for 872 divided by 4. Okay, 872 divided by 4. Okay? Division. Can 4 go into 8? It can. This has to be smaller than this. How many times would you multiply 4 to get to 8? 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract, okay, which is 0. Okay, you can't do 4 into 0. Bring down. You don't have to do these arrows. It's just to help you. Bring down and repeat. Can 4 go into 7? Well, yes, but as 4 times 2 is 8. That's too many. You can't go over this amount. So you have to get as close as you can without going over. What is 4 times 1? It is 4. Subtract. Okay, can 4 go into 3? No. Bring down and repeat. So you're going to put a 2 here. 4 into 32. How many times can you multiply 4 to get to 32? And then that number goes here. Let's practice another one that isn't one of your problems. Let's do 5 into 631. Okay? Can 5 go into 6? It sure can. 1 time. And then what is your answer? 5 times 1 is 5. Subtract. 5 from 6 is 1. Then bring down the next number and repeat. Can 5 go into 13? How many times without going over? Well, 5 times 3 is 15, so we know that's too much. So go back 1 more. How about 5 times 2? What is 5 times 2? 5 times 2 is 10. Sorry, this should be right underneath here. If we don't line up our numbers in the right place value, we make simple mistakes. Okay? So 5 times 2 is 10. Now we need to subtract. Okay? Bring down the next digit, 31. Can 5 go into 31? Let's count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So we can't do 35. We have to do 30. So 5 times what was 30? 5 times 6 was 30. Subtract. You have a remainder 1. So 5 times 126 equals 630 with a remainder of 1. Okay? So your remainder goes up here. You go all the way you can, as close as you can, to get to an even number, like total. Okay? So 5 times 126 is really 630, and then you have 1 left over. Okay, that's just a practice one. That wasn't one of your problems. Okay, any questions? Let me know. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.